Hi, welcome to our first video series. I'm Candice Stump.
I'm Cindy Schultz.
And this is Inclusion Done Right, or How to Eat the Elephant, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. So first, thought we would just maybe chat a little bit about who we are and kind of what brought us to this point in our journey. So do you want to start?
I can start. So I am, like I said, Cindy Schultz. I'm with nevereasyalwaysgood.com, and Candice here is my kid's principal. I am a mom of 7. My oldest is 22. My youngest is 6.
7? Did you hear that?
7.
Wow.
7. We've adopted 4 of those children. My youngest 2 have Down syndrome. Jillian is 10 and she's biological, and Ben is 6 and we adopted him when he was 3. So inclusion,
so you've had Ben
obviously
now for 3 years.
3 years.
And Jillian?
All of her life. All of her life. We knew when we were pregnant she was going to be born with Down syndrome. So I also am the chapter leader for Sharing Down Syndrome Arizona, and the parent representative for CAPE, which through our school district, Humboldt Unified School District, is a parent group that is designed to support families who have kids with IEPs and 504 plans.
Great place for parents to be able to go
and
have support conversations around, you know, what we can do to best help the kids. And you guys meet?
We meet like 3 to 4 times a year, because we don't want to overload parents, and it's all about helping parents to and teachers, educators, to help that team feeling, the team spirit for like IEPs, and to just help grow the education.
Because as we know, a lot of times, you know, it takes a village to be able to support these kiddos, all kiddos, and it's nice for parents and teachers and educators and community members to have a local place to be able to go to have those kinds of supportive conversations. So it's fantastic.
Exactly. So that's
you do a lot of things.
I do a lot of things, but I have 7 children, so they keep me all busy.
You are a busy bee. But we appreciate all that you do and all that you're involved in. I know that we'll continue to talk about the various, you know, organizations and affiliations and resources that we have that we can help provide everybody with, as we kind of take them through our journey and what brought us to this point at Coyote Springs Elementary School around inclusion. And with that said, I'm Candice Stump. Like Cindy said, I'm the proud principal of her children and about 610 other kids, which we just absolutely cherish.
I'm her favorite.
Of course. Right? They're all just amazing. And you know, the main purpose that has kind of drawn us together has been the passion and love for all kids, but specifically making sure that kiddos with those special needs are fully included in schools and in the general education setting. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know we talked a little bit about this question of, how did we kind of get to this point in our life? And I know, you know, for me, and being someone who's been in education for close to a quarter of a century, which I can't believe I'm actually like, where does time go, right?
Hey.
And you as a parent for
22 years I've been a mom.
We each have our own little paths that have brought us here. And it's kind of exciting that we were able to come together and now really, you know, make this bond because we both share this passion about all kids and making sure that they're getting the absolute best education possible to prepare them for the real world. So we talked a little bit about the elephant.
Yes, okay, so Candice, how do you eat an elephant?
Well, I think that's a really good question. And I think the answer should be 1 bite at a time.
Yes, and that is what inclusion is. Inclusion is the giant elephant in education, right? Absolutely. It is intimidating, it is scary, and it is very emotional on all sides, whether you are a parent or an educator. And so we are devoting our video series to breaking that down into smaller bite-sized pieces.
Yep, 1 tiny bite at a time. So our goal is hope to really help everybody out there, parents, support staff at schools, educators at schools, community members, to really understand the process and make it more simple so that we aren't afraid. We don't have those barriers in front of us as educators or as parents to go ahead and take that push into full-on inclusion, because we know that when we allow these kids to have those opportunities, they rise to the occasion. And that is what it's all about.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
So I know we want to talk a little bit too about you know, the different roles that we see, the roles like we talk about with students, with the kids, with the parents, the community members, and so we're going to dive a little bit deeper as we go through our video series. Right.
Yes, and we will go ahead and touch on the players. We'll give you a little right now. Give you a little synopsis on how it works and why it's important to the players. And so, and the first and primary player in any inclusion situation is the child with special needs, and that's where I come in. I'm the mom, and my kids have Jillian, who is 10, has been in the inclusive setting for a year and a half now. We were blessed at the other schools we were at, but this past year and a half, I have seen so much growth and so much maturity. She's in 5th grade now, and she is, it's just amazing the age appropriateness of her development. She lays on the couch and talks with her friends who are typical. She gets invited to birthday parties to people who are typical. She's being exposed to typical behaviors and getting to model her own behaviors. Because especially kids with Down syndrome, they learn by emulation, by watching and observing others. So if they are stuck with kids that are in an immature situation,
that's where they stay.
Exactly.
That's the point that they stay at, and they're never allotted the opportunity to be able to blossom and grow any further. So that's really one very positive piece of that inclusion, of them getting to be around their peers so that they can see typical peer
behaviors and what's appropriate and what's not, because when it comes right down to it, we live in a gen ed world, right? And if my kids are held, and Ben is 6 and in 1st grade, and his entire school career is going to be inclusive, and that just thrills me. And he needs that inclusion.
Our little Ben. But it is going to be so exciting where, you know, you see Jillian, who came into it, you know, later on in her, not really too late, but still.
Exactly.
You know,
it was just the right time for her. 4th grade was very important
versus
for her.
Ben, who's going to know no difference.
Exactly.
So he's never going to accept anything other than the fully inclusive classroom. Which is perfect.
Right, and how can we expect kids like mine to join and be part of society if they haven't been raised with those in society?
Agreed. So. And that, you know, on the flip side of that, then that in turn plays a role with the general ed students that we have also seen, or should I say students, that are being affected by having them in the classroom. Because now they're learning these empathetic behaviors, and they're learning about diversity. Novel idea for them to be able to see that, you know, the world revolves around a bunch of different kinds of people, not just about me. And so it's been really exciting to see the perspective of our general ed students and how they have truly just embraced and really surrounded all of our kiddos with this love and real empathetic types of behaviors, and developed true friendships. Like, we have not manipulated or set anything up to where we try to get kids to be. These are all natural friendships.
Jillian just this past week was invited to a friend's birthday party. Well, not a party, to a birthday celebration. Her family was doing something special, and this girl who is typical in the 5th grade got to invite one friend, and she chose Jillian.
That's just so.
I will tear up.
And again, that is nothing that has been facilitated.
Exactly.
It's authentic. those kids authentically have developed those relationships simply from putting them around each other.
Exactly.
Like, that's what kids do.
That's
like, we're the
Yes.
ones that teach them, you know, about getting different opinions that aren't positive. And for them to be able to, they're kids, they love
Right.
each other.
And I like the word diversity that you just used, because diversity is such a hot topic in education nowadays. But it seems like they've kind of left out a category of people.
You don't hear about
and exactly.
That's a really good point, because you
Exactly.
don't hear about that being put in the forefront. You know, I saw a post on your Facebook page this week about a girl who was modeling for It Cosmetics.
Yes.
Right?
She's gorgeous.
Amazing.
On Never Easy, Always Good, the Facebook page.
So Cindy is always putting, I mean, fantastic posts that are encouraging. She puts her real, you know, this is it, out there. This is my day in the life of. So I definitely encourage everyone to make sure that they're following Cindy's site. Say that again, what is it?
Never Easy, Always Good
Yep.
is the Facebook page. Yes.
And I know we're going to be looking for feedback.
Yes, feedback. We will be looking for questions. If you guys have any questions about inclusion, you can go ahead and post it. This is on YouTube, so
Yep.
you can go ahead and post it at the bottom of the video. And
Any hot topics, you know, questions, things that you would like for us to, because of our experience coming from 22 years of being a parent, 25 years of being in education,
Right.
and we'll continue to talk a little bit about how these pieces work in the educational setting, but we want your input too. And we're going to ask for a little input about
a name for what we're doing. So our topic is inclusion done right. But I think Candice and I might be doing this for a long haul. We kind of like each other a lot. So
just a little. We
just
didn't have kind of an instant connection.
I know.
But, you know.
So it should be fun. I'm excited to see where this is all going. So if you guys have any suggestions, I was just thinking right now we are sitting in Coyote Springs Collaboratory.
Correct. Yep.
And it's all about collaboration, and that's kind of what you and I are doing.
That's
it's
right.
collaborating.
Yep.
So I'm all into
Yeah.
rhyming or into.
I know, we were thinking like Candice and Cindy, or Cindy and Candice's collaborative coffee talk. We need some help with this, because our creative brains have kind of come to a stop when it comes to that. So if you have your ideas, post those with us as well, or chat with us about that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be doing this. How often and how are we going to be able to access this?
Well, we will be posting on, okay, so this will be accessed through nevereasyalwaysgood.com. Under the Never Easy tab, you'll find Inclusion Done Right until we get our real name.
Working on it.
But Inclusion Done Right works for me. And so once that's there, you'll also be able to see the videos on YouTube, and we will post on Facebook and Instagram. So follow. In fact, if you're since you are watching this right now, make sure you like and comment and share this video so that this can be seen. The more you like, more likes and comments and shares we get, the more prominent we will be on YouTube and Facebook, and
the more we can help with
exactly
what we all have in mind in helping, and it's our students, our kids.
Yes.
And making sure that they are getting the absolute best opportunities that they can, and exposing them to life.
Right. Right.
So awesome. All right.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm
so
excited.
Stay tuned for more topics.
Yes, more topics. Feed them our way. So we're probably right now. I'm thinking like maybe once a month, maybe bi-weekly. We'll see what you guys want. So okay.
We have lots to say.
Yeah, we do. You might get tired of us. So.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Hi everyone, Cindy here from nevereasyalwaysgood.com. Candice and I wanted to add a little bit to the end of this video to explain to you what we mean when we're using the words like full inclusion or fully included. When people hear those words, a lot of times they think 100% of the students in a general ed classroom 100% of the time. That's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about 100% of the students enrolled in a general ed classroom. The Student Support Center or the special ed class in our school doesn't carry an enrollment. it is what it says. It's there to support the students. So just as their gen ed peers might get pullouts for any challenges with reading or math, our kids get pullouts too. They just might look a little different. They might have in addition speech therapy or physical therapy or, or reading or math, depending on the child's needs. And that is defined by the IEP, which is designed by the IEP team with the teachers and the therapists, parents, whoever it is that's on your child's team. So with that said, when we use the words full inclusion, we're really speaking of the opportunity for full inclusion, and that's based on the child's needs. For instance, Jillian is in 5th grade, 10 years old. She is in a gen ed class almost 100% of the time. Ben, though, he's not mature enough to handle that. So he's in the class with his gen ed peers 80% of the time, and then he gets pulled out for some additional learning. So with that said, that's what inclusion looks like. In our next video, we are going to dive a little bit more into some of the players in the inclusion scenario. We're going to be talking about the educators and how that affects them and how that works, and also a segment of population that really doesn't get thought about when it comes to inclusion. That's the sibling of the child with special needs. I really had some epiphanies this year with my son Joe, so I have some fun things to share. So with that said, Candice and I are totally excited to hear from you guys, your ideas, any questions you have, any requests you want us to talk about. So we want to hear from you. Also, that title, think of a name. We're working on it hard. And when you're done watching this video, be sure to like it. Like it, comment, follow us. Share. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, Never Easy Always Good. Make sure you go to nevereasyalwaysgood.com and get on our mailing list so you can see where when our next videos are coming out. Not only Inclusion Done Right, but our other videos. So, I hope you guys have a really great day. I hope you're finding these videos informative and kind of fun. We have fun doing them. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.